Hey there everybody, with Mario Party Jamboree being announced not too long ago, I did a video going over all the different things that made me excited for it. There will be a card in the top right for that video. However, today we're going to be looking at more or less just everything involving all of the boards. Now for this video, it's going to be a little bit different, where I'm going to kind of go along with you guys and kind of show you all the different things rather than doing like that whole scripted thing. It's going to be more relaxed, a little bit more tame. And of course, we'll have some music in the background just so it's not completely silent behind my voice. But yeah, we're going to go through all the different boards today, and we're going to see every little thing that I can pick out. And I do want to start not on this screen, but in a similar screen like this, because if we go take a look at, if we take a look at here, if you look at these five boards are very clearly, you can tell what they are. At least I'm going to assume that this is Mario's Rainbow Castle because, you know, it just makes sense. Obviously, you got Goomba Lagoon, you got the Wiggler Tree Party, you got the Raceway, and then you got the Galleria. But if you come over a little bit further, you can tell that these five are more or less pretty distinct. Whereas over in these two, you have people just building stuff. So what if these are the five that you can play, and then you have to unlock these two? Just throwing that out there, because all of these have their more or less unique things, where these two just, you have enemies building stuff. Now we're going to stay on the screen just a little bit longer because there is some speculation about certain things in this picture. Because if you look down here, you have this perfectly marked section right in between two sections of rock. People could be speculating that this could be an area maybe to another potential board. If you have these guys up here building a potential board, is there one inside of the mountain? Then you got over here where you have a ladder leading up to literally nothing. Is there something else up here? You have this whole beach area. Could something be here because of the broken boat? Maybe an underwater one. Who knows? Maybe they're just setting themselves up for potential DLC in the future. I doubt it. But hey, it's all good things to speculate, and you never know. They announced that there were 7 boards. There could always be the potential for more. Do I think that we're going to get more? Probably not, but I'd always like to leave the option open. But yeah, that's going to be it for that. Now we're going to get a little bit of a deeper look into the actual boards. And we're going to get into those by looking at the Galleria first. There are a good amount of things that I want to talk about here, where in my original video, I feel as if I am definitely off now. But let's get to the further out view first, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so in my original video, I had pointed out that there was this blue thing and this pink thing that are the same colors as these escalators. I think that they don't have anything to do with the escalators anymore. I am pretty sure on that now, because if you notice, yes, you do have these two things. However, you have two more things, one up here being yellow and orange, and then one over here being green. So if we go back just a split second, you'll notice that there is a stamp on the blue one. And I think in the Japanese one of this, you get a closer look on, or is it in here? Hold on. I could be wrong, and it is here. You get a closer look up on the green one, having a green stamp in the bottom right. So I now fully believe that what is going to need to be done for these 4 things is you'll go to each one of these, get the stamp for each corner. This is top left, this is top right, this is bottom left, and this is bottom right. and then you'll have to come back down to the kiosk here that is in the bottom, this thing right here. Talk to Koopa, and then he'll give you something if you get all 4 of the stamps. I don't know what it could be. Maybe there's the off chance that it's a star. I highly doubt it though. Maybe it's a really good item. Maybe it's 20 coins. I don't know. But it's probably going to be at least something somewhat worth it for you to be going through and going to each one of the different places. Next, we're going to be talking about another thing that I just completely missed, and I don't know how I missed it. But over here in the top left, it looks like this is the boo area for the board, where if you pass it, you'll be able to, use boo, steal coins, steal a star, all that fun jazz. Down here, though, I do want to talk about this bridge, because I don't think I mentioned it in my main video, but I kind of mentioned it during a stream that I did, kind of talking about this, where it looks like you could go from either side to either side. Like if you wanted to go from here over here, you could, but if you were over here, you could do it the same way. I no longer believe that. I think it is more or less actually, I don't know, because it's weird. Because over here, you can easily tell that this arrow is longer that points to the bridge, but this one doesn't have the thing like here, like at the end, that looks like it would be showing you that you could go this way. The only other thing I could think of is maybe, I don't know, like it's hard. Because there is the chance that like from here and all the way around you can kind of choose which way to go, more or less, except maybe that back down here. But I don't know. So here's what we're gonna say definitively for me right now, and then just be proven wrong completely later, is that from here you can choose to go across the bridge or further up. However, if you do make it all the way around, that you're only going to be able to continue to go down and then back up through the escalator. However, of course, if you would like to go up this escalator, you could go up this escalator. And then if you want to go down this escalator, you can go down this escalator and then back up this escalator if you feel so. Then we have the elevator, which I'm just going to hope and assume that because you have the Koopa here, you pay him a specific amount and then you go up. Another way that they could do this is more or less how they did Yoshi's Tropical Island, where you give him a specific amount to go up the elevator, and then the next person has to pay at least one more coin than that to use the elevator, either going up or going down. That could be another interesting way to handle the economy for this board. Hi there, Editing Connor here. Just to jump in really quickly on something, because you'd think with how long the video is that I wouldn't have missed something, but while editing, I found something that I feel like I should talk about. So if you notice the elevator here, you notice that both of them show that it is on the first floor. So what if the only way that you can actually go from place to place is with this elevator is if you're on the first floor, you'll take it up to the third floor. But if nobody has taken this elevator while it's on the first floor and you try to take it on the third floor, it doesn't work. Maybe it's a thing where you need to be specifically on the floor that it is currently glowing up with to be able to use the elevator. Just a thought process, just a hunch, just to throw it out there. Figured I'd mention it. Anyway, back to the video. Then we have our two different shops, one here and one here. Obviously, this one is a yellow shop, this one is a purple shop, this one is run by Koopa, and this one is run by Kamek. Now, there are two things with the shops that I think could be possibilities. So, they could have it to where how in Mario Party 3, you had Toad, who ran the good shop, quote unquote, where he gave you, you know, your mushroom, your golden mushroom, your key, your warp, your magic lamp, all like the good-esque items. Whereas in the Bowser Jr. or Koopa Kid shop, that one had your reverse mushroom, your poison mushroom, your plunder chest, your Bowser suit, your Boo Bell, all of those kind of items. So it could be maybe in this game they have those two similar things, but it's split into two different shops. Or something else that I have been thinking that it could be is the one shop will give you your normal items, and then the other shop will give you the different type of items that I think could be in this game, but it's just not confirmed yet. We'll talk about it a little bit more when we get to a later board, which I think could be the next board, but there are the possibility that hexes or traps from 6, 7, and DS kind of could be back where you place them on the board. Don't know yet. It kind of looks like it could be one, but that is more or less speculation at this point. Also around the board, we have this shop and then this shop, which I think are shops. I don't know. You can land on them for, you know, event spaces. There's 2 for each. And they could be shops. They could be, I don't know. It's hard to say because you see the star on this one. I don't know what's over here. Like this is like maybe like a 3-star thing, like a 3-star shop, 3-star service. I don't know. And then there's 3. What is it, like a diamond thing? Like 3 sparkles. You can kind of see like the sparkles in this circle here. And I don't know what they do. I could not tell you. You land on them, and maybe this one, I literally couldn't tell you what these do. I literally couldn't. They do something. That's as much as I can tell you. Then if we go back to Peach going up the escalator, we'll notice the 4th here for the sniff it here. There's another 4 right here. So this probably does something good for 4th place. If you land on it and you're not in 4th place, maybe you're forced to give like an item to 4th place, or you're forced to give like 10 coins to 4th place. Whereas maybe if you're in 4th place, you just get 10 coins or an item or something, or you can maybe travel to a different location that you want. I don't know. But this is probably just something on the board that is good for you if you are in 4th place. That is the thing that I believe is most likely. Otherwise, other things that we can talk about with this board are over here. If we go over to the Japanese Nintendo Direct, over here in the Japanese Nintendo Direct, if you look over here, here is that exact same thing, and it looks like it is going to be the ball function, like how it was in Mario Party 4, where if you land on the event space, well, here it's land on the event space, and 4 was passed by, but if you land on the event space, you're gonna get a random ball. Could be white, green, blue, or red, or gold if you're very lucky. And then that'll correspond to what you get. If you get white, you kind of get no money. Green a little bit more, blue a little bit more, red the most money. And if you get the gold, you're gonna get the golden pipe. Then back over here, we have this. Okay, I love the flash sale over it the entire time. Love it, beautiful. Maybe I can, hold on, maybe I can do this. If I just do this, beautiful. All right, if we look here, we have the Pippa. Looks like the Pippa specializes in some sort of the Boo Bell. Maybe if you land on it, you get a free Boo Bell. Obviously, it shows the flash sale starting here. But nobody is here. Nobody has landed on this space. So the only thing that I can think of is there are 2 potential ways to start the flash sale. Either if you land on the space, it starts the flash sale, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. Or what happens is every 4 to 5 turns, there's a flash sale. That could be another possibility. Because the flash sale begins and ends on a turn. That is what we're noticing. Because if you look here, the UI down here looks to be the order of operations, where before the turn begins, the flash sale starts. Then it's going to be Ninja, Donkey Kong, Toadette, Peach, and then after Peach is gone, the flash sale ends, and then you have your mini game. So it looks like on here, it is more or less just showing the order of operations. And then as we get like to a later board, you'll see that it's a little different. Different things will be in different places, and it just looks like the UI is just going to maneuver around the bottom for you, showing off basically what is the most important on the left, and then more or less the other stuff on the right. Something else that I do want to talk about here very quickly are the items, because we are sitting here. If we look here, we have a 1, 2, I'm going to assume that's maybe like a 3 on here. This could be a custom dice block. Maybe they're adding a dice block that is maybe like a 1 to 5. Don't know, maybe it's a low roll, could be a custom block, but that's more or less what I'm thinking this could be. This is almost definitely going to be the warp block. If I remember correctly, this is how it looked in Super, so bringing it over to Jamboree would make sense. But yeah, I think, I mean, the only other thing that I do want to talk about, I guess, here is if we look up here, obviously, you know, YouTube is being YouTube, so you can't like fully see it, but this is a turn 5 out of 10. I did notice somebody mention that if you look at the trailer in Superstars, over there, it shows out of 20. So to me, not the best sign of things to come, but I'm still optimistic. I'm still hopeful that everything will work in a 15 to 20 turn game rather well, and it just isn't specifically focused on a 10 turn game. But the only way that we'll know is by actually being able to see some sort of more gameplay on it, or being able to play it ourselves. I'm just gonna go back and make sure that there isn't a damn thing I missed. We talked about the escalators, we talked about that, we talked about that, we talked about that, talked about him down here, talked about that, okay. I think we got everything more or less for this board. So, now we're gonna move on to the next board, Roll'em Raceway, where you got another red toad here, but he could just be sitting here for, you know, shits and giggles, kind of, you know, being like, oh, go. In this first frame, you have I think this is a Koopa Troopa back here, and you got like a little thing here where if you roll up to them, maybe it's a shop, maybe that's like the only thing I can think of being is a shop. Because it would make sense. Either you can go the longer way and you get a shop and an item, or if you're really trying to get to the star, you come the faster way down here and just try to zoom up. Because I think I know the star locations. We'll get to that in just a second. But yeah, obviously you have this, I don't know what this can do. Maybe if you land on it, you get like a guaranteed second dice. Could be something like that. But if we take a look real quickly, you can see the layout of the board, and in the background you can notice you have this red thing, the red junction here, and then the red junction here. Whereas if we quickly go back, you can notice that this one has blue around it. And if we go back just a little bit further, you can notice that the ones back here have green around it. But yeah, here's the board. You have the start right here. You're gonna come up, and then you got 2 different junctions, come back around, and the 2 different junctions again. Very simple board. Looks like it's gonna be very dependent on rolls. But yeah, they made the beginning of this board real nice for you, didn't they? 2 lucky spaces and then 2 items immediately. They made it pretty fucking nice for us, didn't they? Then, very quickly go back. We have our turbo dice, which is 4 dices that you can roll up to 40 spaces in. Also, very quickly, just to go back to mention the thing that I mentioned on the last board, notice how Toad is here over on the left side, and then right after him is the mini game and then the home stretch, whereas these 3 have already taken their turn, and these are the things that they landed on. So the UI at the bottom is going to be shifting over as everybody takes their turns and does their things. Now, since we're on this screen, we also have the triple dice coming back. Bowser Jr.'s got that. And then here is where we have the thing that looks like it could be a hex. Now, obviously, in all of these screenshots and all of the things that they show off for all the boards, there isn't a single one of these on the ground anywhere. So we cannot tell exactly what that is. However, I will say, if you bring it back to where we have our normal items like we do here, and then we also have hexes like we do down here, I will be very happy and very excited. Give me the Mario Party and give me all of the chaos. Especially in a board like this, where it's going to be pretty dependent on like rolling around and going around. Even if the hexes like this are only on this board, which it all depends on if the Kamek shop is what I think it is or what it could be. Even if it is only for this board, that would make me potentially like this board a hell of a lot more. I would love the hexes to come back. Whether or not they come back, that's a whole nother story, but I digress. As you can tell here, it looks like Toad is in the left side. Because this looks like the area of like those red spaces. Like he just came from the first red spaces. He's on the left side. Here's the left spaces. And then you have over here the potential 2 diverging paths. So you could tell he rolled a lot because he got all the way to the right side. If we also, I don't know if we can see it from here. It may have to be on like the zoom out. Yeah, I think it's going to be the zoom out where we see it. Okay. But, however, something that I completely missed in my original video of Jamboree, Boo is right here. And you can tell, Boo's right here. You can use Boo probably to, steal your stars, steal your coins. However, if you are using your Ooper Duper Super dice with your 4 dice blocks, you're gonna skip events. Now the question is, you're probably gonna skip events like this. You're probably gonna skip events like the shop. If you use it, will you also be forced to skip the star? Will it be like the Mega Dice block in 4, where you literally skip everything? You can roll high, but you better make sure that you're using it at an appropriate time where you're not gonna fly past the star. That's an interesting thing that I don't think anybody has really mentioned, and I would be kind of intrigued by it. Where you can go far, but make sure you don't use it next to the star. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to get the star. But yeah, you can tell here the green and the green. So I'm going to assume that like the green ones will launch you up here to the green ones. The red ones will launch you to the red ones. And then the blue ones, which are further back here, will launch you to the blue ones at the start. But yeah. All right, so let's just quickly talk about the little still here that we have of Roll'em Raceway. I may pull up a different photo of my thing that I already have for this because it is pretty small. But yeah, you have the 2 diverging paths at the bottom. You're gonna have the 2 diverging paths in the top left. You can tell you have the 2 blue event spaces at the top with the 2 blue spaces at the bottom, and then you got the green on the right with both the 3 there, and then the 3 here. You have your chance time, you got your Bowser, and then probably like another space right behind the W, which I may be able to see another, wow, 2 Bowser spaces. Ooh, we getting freaky down here in the bottom right. But I think on this board, there are 2 star spaces. There is one right here, which I think you can see just a little bit of a yellow thing above it, and then another one right here. These are your 2 star locations. So it is going to heavily depend on if you and another person are on a specific path where the star is. If you make it to that star, the star will probably go to the other path, and then you're gonna have to roll around to the other path to be able to get that star. So I don't think it's necessarily a race to the finish. I think it's a race to one of these 2 spots. Because if we go back and take a look, something that I was really wondering is, I had thought that on this board, here is where you would get your star. Maybe if you passed Koopa, he would give you your star. However, now really taking a look at it, I would say that these are your 2 star locations, and one will be active at a time and the other will not. So you need to make sure that you are on the correct path in order to be able to actually get your star. The other thing that I very quickly noticed is I believe this is potentially a shop. So there is the potential that this is a shop, and then that Koopa down here maybe is a shop, maybe isn't a shop, maybe he's something completely different. But I would say this is almost guaranteed to be a shop, and this may be the only shop on the board. Because if this Koopa isn't a shop, then I don't know what it is. Now that's gonna be a little more intriguing. But yeah, I don't think I can really see anything else major. I mean, there's like another event space here. Maybe an event space here, but this could also be an item space like that one. Yeah, I think I got a good majority of that. Now we're gonna move on to Goomba Lagoon. And the nice thing about Goomba Lagoon is they just give you the entire board. More or less. The only thing that you really can't tell is what this space may be. I mean, it could be an item, and if there's a space behind this tree. Everything else, and then maybe like a space right here behind this dock. But everything else, you can see. So, you start here on this first island, and then you have your choice of going left or going right. Why is my thing loading? Hello? Thank you. I don't know what you were loading, because literally we're on a still YouTube video, but sure. But yeah, you can go left or you can go right. So if you go left, you're gonna come up to your first shop where star is. For the Raceway, it looks like it is very easily determined where you can see where the stars are. The rest of the boards, not so much, which I think is nice. Also, from here, you have no choice. You're gonna go down here. However, if the tide is risen, then you're gonna have the thing up here, which is gonna rise up, and then you're only gonna be forced to come back around here, where you can come back to the first island and go around or continue to circle this island. However, if you decide to go right, you're gonna have another choice of going left or right, where you can come here for the hang gliding section to get to this island, or you can get across these to come to here, and then either continue onwards and go this way, or make a right turn and do a circle, and then continue onwards. Now, the thing that people have been intrigued by, and the thing that I'm also intrigued by, is you have this to get to this island. Now, This has platforms that you can get to, and it looks like it's stuff that is floating on the water. So my question is, if this floats up, what is the point of this? If this will bring you exactly to the island, only one space behind where you would get to the island by using these three, what is the point? Maybe these disappear? If the water is too high, maybe it's too high for you to jump on. I don't know. Also over here, you have 2 event spaces on this one as well. And maybe it's some sort of like fishing thing. You come down on the dock. You got a character here that'll be like, hey, if you could catch a fish, I'll give you 10 coins, or I'll give you an item. Maybe something like that could be a thing. Over here, you have another one of the zip lines where you zip line to a space that literally can only be accessed if you use the zip line. And then you have the purple shop, where over here you have like the yellow, orange, golden shop. And then from here, I'm going to assume that, yeah, from here you're going to go up and around. Because if you come back down here, from here you have your choice of left or right. So if you want to go left, you'd go left, get your thing here, and then come up around to the big Goomba, and then around. Whereas if you go right, you'd come right, and then go down. At least that is what I'm assuming. Because it looks like this is another one of those sections like here, where the only way that you'll get to these specific spots, because there's a chance time, I believe, right here. The only way that you'll get to these is if the tide is risen. 2 other things that I just completely missed in my original video. You have Boo here. My ass said it was some sort of anchor thing, but it's Boo. And then you have a Boo thing over here as well. So you have 2 Boo locations on this map. So that's nice. I enjoy having multiple Boo locations. I feel like it's a little more chaotic that way. But yeah, going up here, we have our big Goomba guy. He's gonna spurt out a whole shit ton of golden Goombas. Now, the question is this the only thing that this Goomba can do? Maybe if you're lucky, you'll get the golden Goombas. If, you know, maybe like a medium thing, you'll get just normal Goombas. And then maybe if you're unlucky, he'll just pour lava all over you. So maybe there's 3 different things that can happen with this. Maybe there's 2 different things that can happen with this. Where if you get the golden Goombas, maybe you get coins. If you get the normal thing, you more or less get nothing. And then if you get the other thing, then maybe you lose coins or something along those lines. That's more or less what I think could happen here. Then you also have, you know, the tide rising. Now, the question is, with the tide rising, how does it happen? Could it happen through event spaces? Probably. However, I think the more likely thing is every 2 or 3 turns, the tide will rise and lower. What would be interesting is if it was like every 3 turns, after 3 turns, the tide would rise, but the tide would rise for only like 2 turns. Because obviously the tide rising for some people could be annoying, where you're going to be stuck on an island. So I feel like maybe making them different amounts of turns could be an intriguing way of going about it. But again, it's all speculation until we finally get our, you know, actual look at everything. But yeah. Now we're going to talk about Mega Wiggler's Tree Party real quick. So I think I got some things a little bit wrong in the thing that I said about Mega Wiggler. First off, over here, we have what looks like it could be a star location. If it's not a star location, maybe just on the other side of this dot could be a shop. That could be a possibility, because obviously you have the purple shop in the top right, and you don't see any other shops anywhere else. So either it is right here, or it is before you leave this junction down here in the bottom left part of it. I do think that the bells here, the one here, the one here, the one here, and the one here are definitely going to make the wiggler in the center move. But if you notice, each of these leaves have certain directions, where this one you can jump in it, go around, and then come out of it, whereas this one has a come in it and this one has a go out of it. So maybe there are only 2 different paths where you can use these, and he'll go to, you know, from this path to this path, or this path to this path. That is probably the most likely thing, unless there is some sort of way to be able to change the direction that the leaves are going in. But after looking at it, I don't really think that's a thing. I don't think that's a thing. We also, of course, like I said before, have our 2 piranha plants, one over here and then one over here. Could be that they just both steal money. Could be that maybe you have a good piranha plant and a bad piranha plant. Could be that one piranha plant does one thing, one piranha plant does another. Or they, you know, you get hit here and it'll shoot you out to over here. If you get eat here, he'll shoot you out over here. A bunch of different things that it could be. Also over here, we have Boo again. You know, me and my genius self just keeps forgetting and not realizing where Boo is anywhere on anything. Then we have the event that's at the very top that we really can't tell what it is. There's some sort of jar here. Maybe there you do something with the jar. Maybe there's something else. I can't really tell. That one's a little difficult to like fully say what it is. But yeah, that's really all we can really go off of for this board. As much as I would love to like talk about it more, it's hard because there's just, for Wiggler and for Bowser, it's just too far away, and you can't, at least for Wiggler, you can't see the full thing. But like, I don't know, it just doesn't, unless there's like something here bottom right that's a big event that you can't really see. It looks like that's just the main events for the board. Then we have Bowser's Keep, which give me 1 second. Here's Bowser's Keep, a little bit of a better image to see, but like not as good quality as one would like. Yeah, you come up here, it looks like you have a shop immediately. Like literally immediately, as soon as you start. 2 spaces, shop. So you'll come up, you'll have your shop. This one looks to be the purple shop, whereas the one up here looks to be like the orange yellow shop. So you'll come up, you got your shop, and then you're gonna have your 2 choices, either right and go up or left and go up. Oh, okay. I think I'm seeing some. Okay, so you'll come up, you'll take your left or right, and then you'll hop up through the lava. There might be like a space on the lava, or there'll be like a thing on top of the lava for you to jump up to here, and then you're gonna go up to Bowser. Whether you go left or right, it'll bring you up to this space right here, and then you're gonna go up to Bowser, where I assume here okay. So if you can tell, it looks like there are certain things that are like on the conveyor belts here that are pointing a specific way. So whatever the way the conveyor belt is pointing is the way that you're gonna go, whether it's right or left. So say it's pointing left, you're gonna come up here and then go left and around, and then from here you can I mean they do have the arrows here, but maybe the arrows change. But yeah, you come up, you go left, and then maybe either this thing here or the Mecha Koopa down here could be the one to change which way you're going. Thoughts and opinions have had here. But yeah, you'll come over. I don't know if you go in front of Bowser, if he does something to you or not. Can't really tell. This could be a space, this could be a dot. It's too blurry to tell. But yeah, you have the thing over here. You have the Mecha Koopa here, and maybe there's something behind Bowser that we can't see. don't really know, can't really tell. But yeah, you come up here, you can go behind Bowser and then maybe go up through here or down here. But if you go up through here, you'll come over to the left and you'll have your shop. Or if you go up here, you go through the winding path up here and then over. Top left, something that I didn't notice. You have a warp pipe. So I'm assuming if you choose to, you can either go into the warp pipe right, or there's something up here where if you land on it, you'll go into the warp pipe. And the warp pipe will bring you all the way back down to the beginning where you can do your cycle again. Because otherwise, this shop and these 3 spaces become obsolete after everybody moves at least 4 spaces. So having this pipe here, potentially this pipe here, and also potentially this pipe right here, which I think is a pipe, could all bring you down here. Now, I don't know if this is a pipe. This looks like it has some sort of path leading up to it. Maybe it's something else. Could be. I could be totally wrong. It's happened before. But yeah. Over here you have your bigger Mecha Koopa. Probably does something more interesting than the little one over here. In your top right corner, you got your jail cell, where there's a whole lot of green going on here. So maybe you have to like punch in a password to like open the cell, and then if you open the cell, you're able to get like a star or something. That would be an interesting concept. Like, there are things around the board that you have, maybe you have to like look and find to punch in a password here. And if you open the password door, you're able to get a star. That would be pretty interesting. Or it just could be luck if you punch in a passcode and you get it. Then, oh wait, hold on. There's a lot going on here. So, okay, I think, okay. So, here's what I think. There is the possibility that these conveyor belt things always point one direction. So let's go off of that for now. If these conveyor belts always point one direction, then I think that it means that you'll come up, you'll go left, and then you can go right, or you can go up here. If you decide to go up here, you'll come up and you'll either go this way, or you'll come up and go through this way and go this way. You'll come over here, you'll come down, and then from here, you'll have your sections over here where you can go either down and right and come around here, or go up. Because if you notice here, you have your up left arrow and your up right arrow, which is interesting because you have this one space, you have this, and the only thing I can think of is that could be interesting is if you pass by here, maybe there's a space or two back here, and then you'll come down, come around, come all the way down here, because there are 2 blue dots just sitting right down here doing nothing, where maybe you can have this crane pick you up and either bring you up here or maybe just fucking toss you. I don't know. That makes this board a little more interesting. Because otherwise, what the heck are these two blue dots for? 2 blots, I'm mixing words. I wish we had a clearer image of this board. There's so many moving parts on this board, and you just can't tell what they all do because it's so blurred and so far away. Either way, there is another thing here. Maybe this is like another type of shop, or maybe it's just you pass by it, and maybe this is, I don't know. I'm just gonna assume this is a shop until I'm proven otherwise, or maybe this guy is in control of the guy with the crane. Could be something like that as well. But yeah, there is a lot of moving parts here. Way too many. And it just sucks because we're never gonna know. We're not gonna know probably like for like another few months, and that's what sucks. All right, now back over to the video. We're going to be doing some look at the other boards that we have that are from the older games. We're going to start with Mario's Rainbow Castle because why not? So the first thing to obviously notice and mention, you have the big Bowser here that was also in Big King Bowser's Keep. I probably should have mentioned it while looking at King Bowser's Keep, but I guess I'll mention it now. You can have the big Bowser here and still play as Bowser. So for those who maybe thought like if you use Bowser it'll be transformed into like a dry Bowser or something like that, no, it doesn't look to be that way. It just looks like there is a different entity of Bowser himself. Maybe Kamek creates this Bowser, maybe Bowser, I don't know. There's just another entity of Bowser, and this way you'll have the Bowser stuff. You have your Bowser spaces as well as your unlucky spaces, and you're just gonna go through and, you know, do your thing. But yeah, over here, you know, you got your item spaces, your lucky spaces. I have not talked about spaces at all really in this, so I guess not what better time than this one, because it's probably like the shortest board to talk about. Why not talk about it for here? Because you got your item, your lucky, your unlucky, your blue, your red, your event, your versus, your chance time, and your Bowser spaces. You know, pretty typical, all things considered. So here's the thing. When it comes to the unlucky and Bowser spaces, and even just the lucky spaces, I would say, for me personally, the best thing to do is if you're going to make the lucky spaces more or less how they were in Mario Party Superstars, where like you could get, you know, 5, 10, 15 coins, get an item bag, half off. I don't think the half off star is going to come back personally, because it is part of like the flash sale. Otherwise, what the heck is the point of the flash sale? So I think that one's going to be gone. But let's say you make it like that, where you can get an item, you can get a bunch of coins, you can get a bunch of items, stuff like that. Make the unlucky one where you can lose just as just the same amount of the coins, the same amount of items, you know, stuff like that. Maybe make it if you land on an unlucky space. Now this would be interesting. If you land on an unlucky space, the next star that you buy has to be 30 coins. Make that an unlucky thing. Instead of having this one take away, make this one add on to it. And then I feel like for the Bowser space, because if you're going to do that for the unlucky space, the Bowser space should then be either you play a Bowser mini game, if there are those that aren't like those big battles that we've seen, Bowser Revolution, Bowser Shuffle, what other Bowser things could they be? But really focus on like the Bowser stuff that we had gotten before and do that. Really separate the unlucky from the Bowser. If you land, okay, another one, if you land on Bowser where you could lose a star like we did in Superstars, really make it painful to land on these two types of spaces. Make me dread the possibility of landing on them. Rather how like in Superstars, if you landed on it in the first half, who really gave a damn? You lost 5 coins. You got the shuffle. Who cares? Make me hate landing on these two spaces. But yeah, this looks like to be just your general Mario Rainbow Castle. You got your total for your star. You got the big Bowser. The thing about the big Bowser, I would personally like it if instead of making it to where you lost 40 coins, if you went to him, if you had a star, you lost a star, and if you didn't have a star, you lost the 40 coins. Give us the best of both worlds. Make us want to scream again. That's what I want. But yeah, you come up, you have your two choices. You can go the longer way or the shorter way, depending on who's up here. And then let's quickly head on over to here. 1 second. There we are. So the thing that you can very easily notice, if we can just take it back, there's Bowser. you know, just chilling, saying hi. So Bowser is usable with probably the big Bowser up there. You'll come up, you have your spaces, and then you'll have your item shop, which, yeah, you have your item shop, and you have like two sides of it. So since this is the only item shop, there is the potential that if you pass it, maybe you could either choose which one you want to shop at, or after somebody passes it, it switches to the other type of the item shop, which would be an interesting concept for this board. Since it's probably going to be the only item shop on this board, make it to where you pass it, you get this item shop, the next person to pass it gets this item shop, the next person gets back to the first one, and then so on and so forth. I would be totally down with that. I have no qualms with that, and I think that would be pretty interesting. But yeah, you go up, you'll have your choice of either left or right. Up here in this top little corner here, looks to be your boo space, because it looks like for the older boards, the boo spaces, if we quickly look down here at Western Land, are going to be like the cemetery-esque things. So you got like your cemetery-esque thing here, like your, you know, cell, and then you got your prison, you know, your cemetery here, you know, stuff like that. That's how you can easily tell that these are boo. And you'll come around, you do your thing, and then you come up here and get your star or get your star. But yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about when it comes to Mario's Rainbow Castle. It's a pretty overall simple board. Now we're gonna move on to the thing that, yeah, I feel like I missed a little bit with Western Land, at least a little bit. So we're gonna go back very quickly to the other thing that we have here of this. So the first thing that we can notice here on Western Land, one, you have your train station here where you can, you know, sit here and go your train. You have another thing right here, which maybe we can see in the further zoom out, but you have another thing right here in front of the train that you can interact with. Then you have a path, which is brand new to this game over here, where you can either keep going up this way or go inwards towards the center of the board. You have your star, you have your boo, and then if you just keep on going, you have your other train station. So you have this one, and then you got this one, and then you have your third one way over here on the right side like we always had. And then you got your Jamboree just chilling up here with his milk, ready to go, ready to give everybody a good time. But yeah, if you notice, okay, there we go, that helps. So here's where we notice things. If you come here, you have your choice of either going left or right. If you go right before the junction now, you have the normal shop. If you go left, you come over, you have your purple shop. So two shops very early on. You can't miss either one of them unless you take the train. So that's nice and dandy. However, over here, it looks like there is some sort of thing here in the center where you can interact with it as well. Don't know what this is. Maybe a little bit of like a mini game thing that you can do. And then from there, you'll continue. You'll probably have... No, there is no probably. It looks like from here, you'll continue, and then you'll meet up with this junction right here. So you'll meet up with this junction, head up, and from there, you'll head either up if you have the key or left. So interesting difference from the original Western Land where you had the two different junctions that you head out in. But here, it looks like it'll be where instead you'll have the junction that leads here going right, and then the junction here going left, meeting up together and then going up. Then you'll either hop up here and continue on along the board, where probably you'll have like your two sections like sitting above this, and then meeting up going over here, and then coming to this third train station. Over here you have your other shop, which I believe is the second normal shop, not like the purple shop. Come around, and then you'll have your boo. Keep going, And then here is where you'll have your new junction, where either you can just continue on and go through the rest of the board again, or you can turn right, come up, and if you want, if you have a key, you can get the key, use the key, come back up, oh god, I fucked up. I pressed the wrong button. But yeah, come up, go up through here. It looks like it leads back up to either this blue space here, or there is the possibility that it leads to here. It's one of these two. So if it does lead back up to the blue space, then you'll be able to get your chance at Shop and Boo again. If it doesn't, then you just come back around and get your shot at just Boo again. Either way, not a bad deal. Not gonna complain about either which way. Both ways are pretty good. But yeah, I think that is more or less everything that I can really talk about when it comes to all the boards. Otherwise, you know, you got your normal spaces, your normal stuff. Like, the big question is, I don't really want to talk about the mini games or anything like that, because we really didn't get a lot with the mini games. You only got like 10% of the mini games, more or less. And then you got like all your other different modes. But today was focused on the boards. But yeah, like the one thing that I think is really intriguing me the most is if we just go back here. You have the 5 boards, which are very distinct. And then you got your 2 boards where you got to 2 different types of enemies just hammering away, using their pickaxes, doing their thing. So there's the potential that these 2 could be unlockable. There's the potential that this specific thing could lead to another board. Maybe the inside of the cave is another board. I doubt it, but hey, it's always nice to have options. It's always nice just to talk and speculate. You also have the possibility that this little area could be something. You got the beach that could be something. Maybe there's something in the water, something up here. There's a lot. And you know what? The only way that we're gonna know, the only way that we're gonna be able to find out is when we actually get the game ourselves, or if they reveal more either in a direct that could happen in September. But because I personally think that we're gonna get something involving the next console like in October. Maybe they just hold off and don't really do a direct in September. So maybe we'll just get like a 5-minute overview trailer unless they do give us some sort of board gameplay. But yeah, that is going to end off my thing. I have gone on for quite long enough going over every little thing that I could find. And yeah, it would be amazing if I missed something, which is totally possible, totally plausible. But that's going to be it for this. I probably won't have another video on Jamboree until we get a little bit more details about everything. I'm not really one to like do like character predictions and stuff like that. So I'm not the big person to do it. You know, here, I'll give you your character predictions here at the very end of this video. Dry Bones, Hammer Bro, Diddy, Pom Pom, and Pauline. Those are the 5 that I'm going to predict to bring it up to 26 characters. It's Super Mario Party Jamboree. They have the 4 characters. They might as well use them. Anyway, that's going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you guys next time for probably something that isn't Jamboree related. Bye, everyone.